Good morning, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, recording here on Thanksgiving morning.
Yep.
But yeah, hope everybody's having a good one. So, yeah, like you said last week, y'all got harvest wrapped up. So how's your first week of vacation been?
Oh man, hey, I have took it pretty easy. I will say, I was like, I'm gonna enjoy it now. I mean, we moved stuff. I mean, I've done a little bit, but
you hadn't totally moved to your vacation home for the winter yet?
That's right. Yeah, no, not yet. I'm still packing bags and all that good stuff. But yeah, no, we got everything wrapped up. Now it's pretty much all dozer and track hoe work all winter long, and that's about it.
Yeah.
I did get a track hoe in, and I can't remember if I said that or not. I'd gotten a track hoe, and
yeah, we talked about it last week.
Did I talk about it pouring oil out?
Oh, no. I was just talking about getting the new track. So is this the new one? Or
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I got it. I ran it for about an hour, and I noticed, like on a track hoe, when you swivel around, the way you a lot of times you can notice your leaks because you'll see it on the tracks.
Yeah.
And I was messing around. I mean, it was running great, operating really good, very smooth. And I noticed some stuff on the tracks, and I got out, and yeah, it's got a pretty good oil leak. Now, it is hydraulic, not motor. Is
it on just a line, or?
I don't know. I'm going to have to take the plate off the bottom of it, which it's hard working on a track hoe, but got to take the plate off and then get up in there and look. So,
yeah,
I don't know. It's really over full. They had it way over full on hydraulic oil, so I don't know if it's pushing oil out. It's not coming out of the cap. I don't know, but I do got to fix that. So that's to start.
Sounds like a good clean job.
Oh yeah, it will be, and everything's very lightweight.
Yeah.
Like the plate on the bottom. I mean, it'll be, I don't know, probably 80 pounds taking the plate off the bottom. And so yeah, and it's, working on it in the field, so it's like not
I was about to say, you're going to bring it home to the heated shop. And
yeah. I wish we even had one. That's what I've thought about. I'm like, man, it would be nice to have one. That's them guys that like rebuild their planters every year and all that stuff. They have a nice shop. They can pull it up in there and work on it in the heat, out of the element. We don't have that. This shed out here is open and full of cat shit, and so yeah,
we can remedy that problem.
We need to remedy that problem, but
I'm not saying kill all the cats, but we can do some population control.
Well, we need to, because there's about 14 cats in there.
Well, I know a guy,
and there is literally cat shit everywhere. Have you walked in that shed in a while?
I mean, not really. No.
I mean, the smell like hits you in the face. Like it is seriously. I mean, there's cat piles everywhere.
That's disgusting. Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, that's like a health hazard.
I'm sure it is. Well, it's really nice when you're going out there just to go to work, and you are getting in your truck, and you just get in your truck, and you've stepped in a huge pile of cat shit. And,
oh God!
And
nothing's worse than I'd rather step in just about any.
That's what I was about to say.
Feces rather than cats.
I think cat crap is the smelliest of all.
Yeah.
Like dog crap stinks. I mean, all of it smells
dog
bad.
Crap's probably a close second.
Yeah, but cat crap has a certain terrible smell to it.
Yeah. Oh, when it comes to like farming, horse manure, cow manure.
That don't bother me.
Yeah, I don't like whatever. That's like an accessory on the side of my boot.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right about the carnivores. I guess they're
foul.
Yeah.
Oh, and I will tell you. So I had called you yesterday. I did. I'm having. It is custom exempt on the beef.
Okay.
That I'm having cut up.
Yeah. I would. We were talking about getting his bulls processed, and unless you're selling individual cuts of meat, do the custom harvesting.
Now it looked like it was just a one-time fee for the inspection, and actually it was only $30.
If there's that little difference, that'd be nothing. But I don't know. I've used a facility that was USDA inspected, and I primarily use custom facilities, and it may have just been that one facility, but it was
substantially higher.
Yes, like twice as high.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, hey, they capitalism, baby. I was happy to have them get that. It was actually a heifer I had processed that time. But anyway.
Well, that's what I am. Yeah, having a bull cut up, and was pleasantly surprised. They're going to get him in February, And he's going.
That's a pretty for them to be able because we're sitting here recording on Thanksgiving Day. If they're getting 4 months out, 3 months out, it's pretty darn good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and it's a 14-day hang.
Yeah.
So
and a lot of them they'll do whatever you want. Like if you just demand, no, I want them to hang for 21 days or
60.
I always ask my processor. I'm like, look, dude, this is your area of expertise. You let him hang, and some people may be cynical and like, well, they won't let them hang for just because they want to turn them out of there.
Yeah, make room.
I trust the guys I take mine to, and I'm like, hey, this is what you do. Meat is your thing.
Yeah.
How long would you have yours hang for? And they say, 14 days what we go for.
Yeah.
I say, well, if it was good enough for you, that's good enough for me.
Well, that's what they're doing with this one, 14-day hang. And like I said, I'm going to sell the other one. Somebody wants him for a breeder. And they're both relatively, like the one that we're having processed, he's a little more high-strung than the other one. But they're both, like, I can actually put my hands on the one we're having processed better than the other one.
Well, that's what I walked out there and looked at them yesterday just because we were talking about estimating their size. And, he let me scratch his head.
The red one? Yeah. What do you think? About 800 pounds?
I think you're bigger than that.
Do you?
I think he's probably closer to 1,000.
Good. Well, I've done already.
Probably 900 to 1,000.
Yeah. I want to get them up to about 4,000 pounds before I take them to process.
So you might not be able to do it this coming February. But
could you imagine what fat bastards they would look like if they got up that? They'd be like,
you definitely have an extra fee, like from because some processors, if they're over a certain weight,
over 1,400, I think was theirs.
Yeah, because it's just their facilities aren't set up to handle that.
I mean, I'm trying to imagine a 4,000.
He won't be over 1,400. You won't, which I think the average carcass currently, like just total for the countries, it's usually between 900 and 925, something like that on a carcass weight. And so that would correlate to, let me do some quick.
What, about 1,200 pounds? Or
I'd be bigger than that. That'd be between 1,500 and 1,600 pounds.
Gotcha.
So, but I usually aim for mine to have, I used to say a 600-pound carcass. I'm probably more like 700 pounds now, just because that's a good size for people, these smaller processors to handle. And, like I say, that they want one which a 1,400-pound carcass, and they'll yield a little differently, but that should be, I'm fat fingering my calculator here. Yeah, now that may be, he'll be probably at 1,400 pounds, would be around probably between an 850, maybe even 900-pound carcass.
Yeah.
So,
and what do you figure you get meat-wise? 60% of that?
So your carcass weight is usually going to be about, I figure, 65% of your live weight.
Yeah.
And so, let's just say on a 1,400-pounder. Again, he's not going to be that big. At 65%, that'd be 900, 910. And then what you're going to actually put in your freezer is usually about 65% of that. And that's rough math.
Yeah.
So just under 600 pounds. So
that's a lot of meat.
The yield on that from the total from live weight, you might as well say about 40%.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
People probably, I don't know if people understand, like, cause we had bought a half. The time that you fed out that bull for me.
And that would not have been that big. He was probably about a 700-pound carcass.
Yeah. That one, man, we still have quite a few steaks and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
See, the steaks don't last too long.
We ate all the ribeyes now, but I got kind of the
round steaks.
The kind of, you don't eat as much, but got some sirloins.
Ribeyes and T-bones, and even my sirloins don't last too long.
The ground takes the most heat from us.
And that's where, a lot of people, what you do, say if you have a lot of round steaks and roast left over, we'll just get them to grind some of those up. And I have a lot of people that do that. They want to keep a few roast, but kind of the lower end cuts and roast and round steaks, they'll just have them ground up. Yeah. I've had people that get everything ground up, except for like ribeyes and T-bones, and they just want everything else ground.
That's a lot of ground.
Yeah. But which ground beef is?
Oh, the most versatile thing in existence.
It's probably, in my opinion, the most versatile protein you can possibly have.
Yeah.
yeah, you can do anything with it. But
Yeah. Well,
I made a big old nice batch of meatballs for our Thanksgiving. So
I saw. Did you eat some turkey?
And actually, there was 0 ground turkey in there. There was not any beef in them, actually, though. It was venison, buffalo, and pork.
Oh, you bastard. You're organic meat, non-GMO.
Yeah, that was... I'm trying to think. So the buffalo was probably pretty close to that. I certainly didn't ask the guy that I bought him from.
You should have asked him, is this non-GMO?
You know, that was a mule deer, and out there where we're mule deer hunting, there's like some alfalfa fields and stuff around there not too far away, but he was probably pretty close to eating an organic diet. The pig, pork, no, I'm sure. Again, I don't ask because I have zero care about it.
That's how I am, yeah.
I'm pretty sure that the local guy that we brought our pigs from, I'm pretty sure they weren't being fed organic.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's how, like, you know, I don't know. What did I bought something the other day. Marcy had to have it, and I went up to Nafy's and had to get something, and it kind of hurt my heart a little bit, but we had to have it, but it had non-GMO stamped on it.
Well, and it was almost certainly something that there's not even a GM.
Yeah, it was. It might have been like, it'd be something like, you know, apples or something where I don't even know. I mean, they might have a GM. Well, apples are crossbred from the start, anyways. But
you know, there's a lot of things that you kind of think about, but they're actually not a GM.
Like oranges.
Oranges maybe one of them. We talked about it here one time. I may even have my notes. Because there's only like 11 or 12
GMO crops.
Yeah, that we use here in the U.S. But I may can find it in my notes. But yeah, not a big deal. But yeah, which that just always just chaps my ass when it'll be something like a bottle of mustard and it'll be like non-GMO.
Yeah,
Are you kidding me?
Oh, they got like, you know, all kinds of stuff. If you can buy, I guarantee you could go to like the hygiene thing, and I guarantee you if there's a deodorant or toothpaste, and it'll be organic, non-GMO.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure there is non-GMO toilet paper.
Oh, well, I gave you the example. So I follow a group that's like a watchdog for like looking for just ridiculous abuses of consumer ignorance like that.
Yeah.
And one of the craziest ones they had was non-GMO kitty litter. Like it's literally clay.
Yeah.
Like it's like there's no gene, period.
I remember us talking about that.
Yeah.
Because because there is, the reason it exists is because there's a market for it.
Oh, yeah, because some small percentage, I hope, of consumers are stupid enough. And it was like they were charging like 5 times as much, you know, per ounce or per pound as what just regular kitty litter would cost.
Yep.
It's like, oh, my God. Yeah, I don't have that list here. But yeah, just preying on the ignorance of the consumer. But yeah, I'm like you. It's almost to the point where if I see that little butterfly logo on there, I'm like, I grab. If there is an alternative, I grab it. But yeah, the more specialty or specialized you get with certain foods,
you kind of are limited.
Yeah, that's what we like to cook with that the ghee. That clarified butter or whatever.
Yeah, your hippie butter.
Yeah, exactly. And I just like it because it's the smoke point on it. You can get it like if you're...
Well, you need to use avocado oil.
Well, I like butter, though.
Yeah.
Like when you're searing a steak in your cast iron skillet and you want that sucker just scalding hot,
mm-hmm.
you put butter in there, of course, it smokes real bad. Just regular butter. Yeah, it's hard to find ghee that's not like...
organic.
Has like every single... organic, non-GMO, you know, whatever.
And probably a picture natural. Of Jimmy Kimmel on there or something too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that and I was going to add too, I have not heard from Bryce Mitchell. He has not accepted my fight challenge.
Well, you're outside of his weight class. I mean, he can't.
I guess that's true. He's scared of getting hurt.
Yeah. But yeah, I wouldn't hold my breath there, I guess.
Yeah, no. He don't want to get dethroned, man. I understand, and make him look bad, you know.
Yeah.
He picked a fight with a real farmer, man, who would make him look bad.
Yeah. So.
You know, they used to have a farmer in there. Oh man, Matt. Crap. Did you ever watch much of it?
So I haven't watched much UFC. Period. I've told you, I've got actually a young lady that works for us. Her brother is in the UFC.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
I've gotten where, I follow and keep up with him. But yeah, outside of that, I don't watch a lot of the combat sports. Not that I don't enjoy it, but
Yeah. Well, Matt Hughes, that's who it is. I knew it was a Matt something. Let's looking here. I'm almost certain that he grew up in Illinois, but I'm thinking he was a farmer.
Yeah.
But he was a beast, man. He was a bad dude in the UFC, but he got hit by he was in a crazy car wreck. I want to say a train might have hit his car or something
Damn.
And he actually is, man, it messed him up. He's mentally
Oh gosh.
Because they have him on, you'll see him at events and stuff. They have him come now, and he can't talk hardly anymore. He's got a son that's his son may be in his early 20s now, but Matt barely can talk. He talks really slow, and it messed his brain up. He had very traumatic brain injuries, and but he was a farmer, if I remember right, or at least grew up on one. Which Brock Lesnar, man, Brock Lesnar was a farmer.
Yeah, is he? Because he was a wrestler. Of course, that's really huge up through the Midwest. I want to say from Iowa.
Yeah,
Iowa's known for their wrestling.
Yeah,
the real wrestling.
Yeah, which he did both.
Yeah,
I guess he actually is.
It's still real to me, damn it.
Yeah, I love that video.
Yeah.
Which I guess he is.
There's a lot more money in the WWE wrestling than in the Olympics.
Yeah, and
wrestling.
you take a beating on your body, but I'm gonna say you don't take as much punishment as actual UFC. Well, I don't know because you're doing a lot more shows.
It appears that the drug testing is much more lax in the
WWE. Entertainment version. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I think it kind of shifted gears after Chris Benoit, after he went nuts. But
yeah,
but Brock Lesnar, I remember actually watching something about him because that was his thing when he was in the UFC. Brock was a great wrestler, but he wasn't just a phenomenal MMA guy. But he bench pressed 500 pounds, and so he was just this monster specimen of a human. And because he fought, I remember when he fought Randy Couture. Randy Couture was 10 times the submitter and grappler, had more ground game. And Randy would be trying to do something, and Brock would just pick him up and throw him like a rag doll. And so he was
just brute power.
Yeah. But he talked about he got it from farming because he said when he grew up, he didn't have weights, so he would bench press. He said they had kegs. And he said he would just bench press kegs and stuff. And so there you go, man. There is something to that farm boy strength.
Oh yeah. Which of course you're a good buddy, and I'd consider him a friend too. Brent, who did American Ninja Warrior. Another guy does American, the Cowboy Ninja. And I cannot think of his name. But I think he's from Idaho.
Yeah.
Which of course when they go and do the specials with him, he just shows doing farm workouts.
Yeah.
Tossing, bales of hay and doing pull-ups in the rafters of the barn and stuff which of course I think they probably kind of
hype it up a little bit.
Yeah. They dramatize it he has no access to a real gym anywhere. In reality, he's there's one right down the road.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably has a membership
that
to
I go
it.
to 5 days a week.
Yeah.
Now I do a lot of working on the farm that also contributes to just the.
But there is something to it. What's the famous guy? Now, my buddy John be mad at me for not knowing this, but my buddy John, he's big in strongman competition. And there was the famous story about the guy and they got to talking about it in this group I'm in because I was talking about when I got this little bull calf out here, I had to pick him up and put him in the side-by-side and drove him up here. And he probably was 120 pounds or something, and I picked him up. Back hurt for a while afterwards, but I got him in there and didn't have any trouble. But John was you're so-and-so. Man, Milo or something might have been the guy's name. But he was I'm pretty sure he was a real person because this was it's an old ancient story or something. But the guy could carry around like a cow because he had supposedly started when he was a calf, and every day he would pick up the calf and he'd carry the calf around, and he just kept doing that, and every day he'd pick it up and carry it around. So like the famous story is that like he had done it so long that like, and it was the same cow, that as the cow had grown bigger, he had just grown stronger, and so every day he carried the cow.
Yeah.
To the point that he was carrying. Now I'm sure it gets exaggerated because it's like the pictures show like this Herculean dude with like a full size, like probably a 1,200 pound cow on his back.
Yeah, I don't know the physics work out there, but
but it makes sense if you carried one. I mean,
right,
you're gonna reach a point where you're gonna start to be like peaking, at the max. Someone say, like when he gets up, probably I'm gonna say you probably still could carry around a 500 pound cow if you're pretty dang strong.
Yeah, I mean, obviously people can squat that, whatever, but of course it's always like that's an awkward weight.
And I mean, I can only imagine if I picked up one, how they'd be like, going crazy.
Well, and if he did it every day, though,
might be used to it.
The calf would be probably pretty accepting, but still, it's like it's awkward weight. When you picking it up like that, but
it'd be moving its head around, so that's probably gonna be shifting the weight.
Oh yeah.
But so there is something to that farm boy strength.
I think so. Yeah, it's practical strength. It's may not translate to when you walk into the gym being able to
like a power lifter.
You might not be able to, because you're obviously not going to have technique and all.
Yeah,
like somebody doing a deadlift or a bench press, but the practicality of it is probably there.
Yeah. Well, there you go. I didn't even know we'd get on a farm strength strength kick there.
Farm strong.
Yep. But you got some stuff now. So we were talking about the
right. You mentioned last week where the ladies on the podcast,
Discover Ag, Tara Vanderdusen.
Yes,
Vanderson.
I would probably I have no idea.
Well, I always thought it was Tara, but it's Tara.
Tara. Okay. Well, they had mentioned that milk had really done a good job in promoting it itself, and had kind of come back into mainstream, and beef was kind of lagging behind, which I mentioned that I've got a theory there. No, I didn't offend me because I think they're probably right.
Yeah.
But why is that? Which, for our listeners that have beef cattle or involved in the industry are probably familiar with the beef checkoff, which for those who aren't, basically every time a calf, a cow, whatever, any bovine is sold through a sale barn, you pay a checkoff. I've got some tickets here at the bottom of it, and it just comes out of the money that the seller gets.
Yeah.
It's $1 per head. That's the National Beef Checkoff. Not very much at all. The grand scheme of things, you're selling a calf, these days that's, worth hundreds, if not even into the $1,100, $1,200. Yeah, $1 a head, whatever. But, what does that money do? And you probably remember the old days. Go back in like the 90s, the beef, it's what's for dinner.
Oh, yeah, man. It had stickers everywhere.
Yep. Well, like you would see the commercials on TV, hear them on the radio.
Yep.
It was mainstream. It was out there.
It was accepted.
Well, and it was, oh man, I can hear that little symphony playing right now. It's kind of iconic, like, and it was awesome. And you just don't see that anymore. And the beef checkoff does some advertising, and you'll stumble across them sometimes. But I guess
hold on, here you go. We gotta. Well, keep on. I'll link this up here. We gotta throw it back.
Well, and so, but there's a lot of money in that there, and so like, where does it go? How do they decide who gets that money? And basically, different groups can apply for it, and to use it, whatever. I don't know.
Check off.
Yeah, how it goes, the full process there. But where I think the beef checkoff is broken, because I think at its core, it's a really good thing.
Yeah.
Now the one obvious thing, and I've said it on here before, I don't sell beef. I mean, I kind of do because I sell a few head, but for the most part, cattlemen. We sell cattle. We don't sell beef. Now, the demand for beef is important for cattle prices to remain good. But we've also seen over the last few years that the price of beef sometimes does not at all correlate to the price of cattle.
Yeah.
During the pandemic was obviously the extreme example where
beef was sky high
and cattle prices went the opposite direction. Now, people and proponents of the checkoff say, well, that was a black swan event. We couldn't. What are we going to do? Whatever.
Yeah.
Well, but it shouldn't be that way. When price of beef goes up, the price of the cattle should go up.
It would make sense.
It would make perfect sense. They should be, but there have been. I mean, you can look at the statistics, and because all that's very well published data. Sometimes they have nothing. There's no correlation like between the price of beef and the price of cattle, and it's and that's frustrating. But
here you go. Is this the one you were talking about?
Oh yeah.
We're showing some beautiful steaks and kebabs.
Yeah, that's 1993. Yeah, 30 years ago, basically.
Yeah, things have changed.
Beef dinner in no time at all. Well, almost no time at all. Beef, it's what's for dinner.
Oh yeah. So
the good days.
One, listeners, if you've come across a beef checkoff advertisement,
dude, look
lately.
Look who was their old sponsor.
Oh yeah, Sam Elliott. Yeah. Let us know. Reach out and message us, because lately, you just don't see it anywhere. It's like, well, what are they doing with this money? Well, and here's where my opinion comes in. The group that gets the vast majority of the funds is the NCBA.
Okay.
The National Cattlemen's Beef Association.
And they're in bed with the Packers.
Well, AKA the National Corporate Beef Association.
Yeah.
That's really what their name should be.
Yeah.
And they are basically the meat packers now. They have taken over that organization.
The meat packers are packing their meat.
Yeah. But I just looked up some figures, and I'm not going to go through all these numbers because people will start falling asleep. But just looking up, because it's public information, like where these funds go. And there was 4 different categories I've got here. One was promotion of beef, research, consumer info, industry info. So 84% of the funds that went for consumer info were the NCBA. NCBA got 84% of those funds.
Yeah.
Research, they got 93% of those funds.
Jeez.
Promotion, 91%. Industry info, 94%. And I believe this was just total funds.
Hold on, this is all the percent that went to the NCBA?
Yeah, percentage
That's
of
crazy.
the total beef checkoff. Like, essentially, the beef checkoff is
just funding NCBA.
Yeah, just their money.
Yeah.
So in 2021, I believe this was total beef checkoff, was about $37 million. NCBA had 80% of it, almost $30 million.
That's a pretty good chunk of change.
Oh yeah, I'm like, how do we get in on that? Like hell, we'll promote the hell out of beef. Give me some checkoff dollars, know. But and because of where the NCBA's loyalty lies now to the meat packer, which look, they're promoting beef, and that's again kind of where I feel like it's broken. And I understand you've got to have demand for beef, because if there's no demand for beef, well then cattle prices definitely go to shit. But so that's where my theory would be, is why beef, because you don't see them promoting it like they should be. And to go even a step further, where you do sometimes see beef checkoff ads, and I could not find a magazine, mainly because I don't subscribe to any of them anymore. I'm no longer a member of the NCBA.
Yeah.
But you'll see beef checkoff ads in some cattle industry magazines, and you're like, why? Like, people, your audience reading these magazines already eats beef at every possible
you're preaching to the choir.
Exactly. And you're spending all your money there. Why? Well, why is because the NCBA specifically, they don't want criticism. They don't want people calling them out on this stuff, just like we're doing here. And I wish we had a bigger audience. Yeah. And so they a lot of times advertise in these magazines, in these publications,
where they ain't worried about catching no heat.
Well, if NCBA is spending thousands of dollars a month in our magazine, and then one of my, columnist or whatever wants to write an opinion piece calling out the NCBA for some of this bullshit, well, the editor or whatever of that magazine's gonna be like, yeah, buddy, we're not going to run that one. How about you go? You need to find something else to write about this month.
Yeah.
And so they're buying their loyalty.
So what if I told you that I know a magazine that's got a massive reach that we could get an article in about it, calling them out?
Yeah, I'd say.
You ready to do it? Because I can't write that shit. You ready to write
the article?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not much of a writer.
Well, I got an in with the magazine, and they've already told me they would run some ag stuff.
Okay, well.
And I mean, it's Free Range American. I mean, they got a big ass audience. This whole Black Rifle.
Man, I could probably come up with somebody much better at articulating it, because I feel like I'm not even articulating it as well as I want to. Like, it's in my head. I'm just not the best at putting it into words.
I feel like this is an article that could be, you could do something along the lines of like how the National Cattlemen's Association is not allies with actual
they used to be the
cattlemen.
National Cattlemen's, but then they added that B in there.
Yeah. But how you could that'd be the headline, how the Cattlemen's Association is not an ally to cattlemen.
Right.
I'm gonna say you could probably. That would go.
And if we got any NCBA people out there, like, look,
we hate you.
NCBA does some good things. Like, they're not, but their loyalty when it comes to issues that kind of put the meat packer and the cattleman on opposite sides of the debate.
Yeah.
Oh, they're 100% in bed with the meat packer when it comes.
But
to
when do they become a bad guy? Like, how many good things can you do to offset the bad?
Oh, right. No.
I'm sure Adolf Hitler gave gifts to some people on Christmas.
Oh, you're right. I mean, he was a hell of a charismatic leader. I mean, you got to be able to convince that many people to commit genocide. But right. Oh, no. You're right. And the big thing here lately, I've talked about it here, and I don't know if it's going to ever get done, because they were hoping it would get done before the midterm elections, but that Cattle Price Discovery and Transparency Act, for pretty much the last year or two, like, NCBA has fought that tooth and nail, and even bragged about getting it stopped, which it's not completely dead, but I'm afraid they got, which it's no surprise, one of the senators that fought it the hardest, and I don't even know what Arkansas senators are.
Republican?
I'm sure it was a Republican, and especially being an Arkansas senator. But Arkansas, Tyson runs that state.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and Tyson's one of the big four. Not the worst of the big four. But we mentioned on here I know we talked about the Beyond Meat CEO that bit the guy's ear.
Yeah.
He was a Tyson executive. That was basically another spinoff from Tyson. But then one of their other executives was actually, like, his last name is Tyson. He is one of the family members. Did we not talk about this here?
I don't think so.
He apparently got just blistering drunk and went in the wrong home and got in bed.
I don't think we did talk about this.
So, and I may be getting some of the details.
One of the Tyson guys?
Yes, he is a Tyson. Got super drunk, which went to a home, not his, and got in bed and the people came home. It's almost like, which fairy tale is this?
The Bernstein Bears?
Like the Goldilocks?
Who's been sleeping in my bed?
Yeah,
Not the Bernstein, whatever. Yeah, my cottage. Somebody's been eating, or porridge. Somebody's been eating my porridge.
Yeah. And so,
he was
I'm going to get his name exactly right.
We want to promote this.
John Tyson, the CFO of Tyson Foods. Yeah. Got drunk and he was arrested for public intoxication and trespassing when he allegedly passed out drunk in the home of a woman he did not know. But I'm and other people have pointed this out too, so I'm not breaking news here. All right. I would imagine he lives in a pretty unique home. I mean,
he's got to be insanely rich.
Yeah, he's John Tyson.
Yeah. CFO. He's
I mean, look, we've all been there and had those nights when it maybe you've had
couple too many.
Couple dozen too many, maybe even. I don't know. Look, I'm trying to give him full benefit. And like if you're living in a apartment complex or a neighborhood with cookie cutter homes, I don't know. I still find it hard to fathom how you go into the wrong home. Like I've had too many to drink before. I've never gone to the wrong home and gotten in the wrong bed.
No. There's a lot of things you got to bypass before you get to that bed to notice as well.
Well, and like, again, I would imagine he has a pretty unique
You know how much
residence.
his net worth is?
What?
What do you think?
Oh, I'd be afraid to even guess.
$3.1 billion.
Yeah. And he's a young guy. I didn't realize how young he was until just now.
Oh, he's young?
Well, there's his picture.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. This is a different one then. This must be one of the fathers or something.
This may be his.
That was John H. Tyson.
Yeah, 32-year-old. Yeah, he's the son of the company chairman, John H. Tyson.
Okay. What is his name?
And the great-grandson of their founder. They're all named John Tyson. He must have a different middle name.
Boy, that's got to be confusing on Christmas.
Because it says his great-grandfather, who was the founder, was John W. Tyson. His father is John H. Tyson. Yeah.
John R. Tyson is that one. That's him right there, ain't it?
Yeah, that's him. So,
yeah. He's a multi-millionaire.
Well, and he's going to be an heir to a billion-dollar corporation.
Yeah.
Billions.
His base salary is $650,000 a year, plus he receives a performance-based bonus of $585,000 up to $715,000 per year. So they said he earns about $1.2 million a year.
Not bad,
a little less than what I'm bringing in a year.
Yeah, not bad for yeah. He's basically your age. Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Damn,
yeah.
Logan, you need to step
Golly,
up.
I do. I got I'm about $999,000 away from him. Like I got a long way to go.
Yeah. Hell, I really feel like a failure. I'm nearly 40. You know, I've missed my opportunity to.
I had a coach one time back when I was in like the 8th or 9th grade. LeBron James had like just entered the NBA or something. I can't remember. LeBron, I think he was a new guy.
LeBron is about my age, and so he would have been. I think he may have graduated high school a year after me, so he would have been in the NBA in like 02, 03, 04.
Okay, well that'd be about right. That'd be about right. And I'll never forget this coach was talking about. He was like, LeBron James is 21 years old or something. He said, and that bastard's making $20 million a year. And he said, I'm 40.
That'd have been about right.
Yeah, he was like, I'm 40 years old and I ain't ever going to make that much money in my life. He was like, that's a bunch of bullshit.
I could criticize LeBron for a lot of things, but I mean, he is.
Oh, he's super wealthy.
The top 1% of the 1% of the 1%.
Yeah.
At one very specific skill.
Yeah.
And so, hey.
He's a bitch, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it does not make him qualified.
I'm calling him out
to preach to us about anything.
LeBron, you want to fight? Come on. Bryce Mitchell wouldn't take me.
Yeah, dude, he's like 6'8", 270.
Might have my hands full there, but I'll be channeling my inner farm strength.
The size difference or advantage you had over Bryce, I think LeBron has an equal.
The reach, he's probably got like a 10-inch more reach than I do.
I would say, I think he's like 6'8", 6'9",
yeah.
somewhere there, and he probably has an over 7-foot wingspan.
He's a giant.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 6'1", but yeah, he's got me probably a good 6 or 7 inches. That would be that would be.
You would not get close to him.
I would use some farmer strategy on that one. I'd probably pick up like a 2x4 then. I'd kind of level the playing field.
Yeah.
But
yeah, on the beef checkoff, I think there's multiple layers as to why it is broken. It needs to be reformed. The way that they hand out the funds.
We got to bring it to light.
Which the NCBA will point out, look, anybody can apply for this just like we do. They are a very big, powerful organization. And again, they do some good things.
Yeah.
But they've been corrupted, and a lot of groups, this happens over time, that they start out, I mean, you can say this about every politician, start out, pure and with good intentions and just.
They get bought, man.
They slowly.
Did you watch, how much are you caught up on Yellowstone?
So just the first 2 episodes. So
Okay, you're the same as me.
the first night when they dropped 2 episodes, that's for it.
That's where we are.
I'm an episode behind, I believe. Just
because there's 3.
There's 3, yeah.
All right, but
Thanksgiving Day.
One of the things I appreciated, there's little things in that show. I mean, look, I get the show is far-fetched, but there are little things in there that I think as farmers we pick up on. Like I love the fact that they have this we've talked about it before. They got like this mansion log cabin, helicopters, super nice rides, and they're like losing money every year. And it's like, the ranch can't sustain itself. That to me, I appreciate that because I'm like, that's pretty realistic. I'm like
yeah, farmers blow money on millions of dollars of equipment.
Yes, people look at it and they're like, man, them guys. But yeah, now I mean they do take it to the extreme because Beth is driving a Bentley, if I remember right. I mean, I'm not driving a Bentley and losing my ass, but one of the things I thought was kind of interesting, this is a spoiler, I guess, to a degree, but it's not a key element to anything. But John Dutton's governor, and he was supposed to have that meeting with the guy from the trade school, and he's like, why? What are we doing? He said, does the state fund this? And they said, no, it's a privately owned trade school. And he's like, who set this up? And they said, so-and-so, your chief of staff. And so he calls the guy in there and he goes, so which one are you buddies with? And he names the 2 people's names that are on the building. And the guy's like, what do you mean? And he's like, which one are you in bed with, essentially? Yeah. And he tells him, he's like, you're fired, get the F out of my office, kind of thing. And and I appreciated that because that is the case, man. I mean, like you said, the beef at this point, NCBA, they're owned by the meat packers.
Right. And yeah, everything they do, like when there's some legislation or whatever being brought up and they have to decide, do we support this or not? Yeah. Because again, they swing the big hammer when it comes, like when they oppose that Cattle Price Discovery and Transparency Act.
Pretty much ended it.
Like, if it doesn't end up passing, it will probably be because they decided not to support it. Yeah. That's where I kind of got really pissed off at our state group, which the state group is affiliated with the national group. But a lot of state groups broke away from the national. Yeah. And said, like, look, we understand that the NCBA doesn't support this, but like Iowa Cattlemen's Association said, no, we're behind it. Yeah. So I contacted our state group and was like, hey, I was a member. Like, I know y'all are probably going to want to lean that way, but listen to the producers.
Did you ever hear back from them?
Oh, yeah. They're spineless. Yeah. Our state group, at least a lot of the leadership, they're bootlickers of the NCBA.
So why don't you start one? I've actually had a couple of people ask me why you don't start one.
Well, right, yeah. And I've had that thought, and I've talked with other people that have done the same thing and have left our state group. Yeah. There's actually probably the group I'm most proud to be a member of right now is the U.S. Cattlemen's Association.
So they're not corrupted by the beef?
No, they're the big 3 are the NCBA, the USCA, U.S. Cattlemen's Association, and then RCAF, which is Ranchers Cattlemen's Action Legal Fund. RCAF is kind of, I'm still a member, I'm pretty sure. Their heart's in the right place. They where they kind of annoy you is they wouldn't support the Cattle Price Discovery and Transparency Act because they said it wasn't aggressive enough.
Oh yeah, so they're like too far to the other side.
They're unwilling to compromise at all. Which in a way I'm like, damn it, I respect that. Yeah. But it's also it's kind of like the whole John Dutton thing where the governor or the former governor, who's now the senator in the TV show, is like, look, you got to play the game to an extent. Like, you got to be willing to do people favors so you can have favors. And he's like, I don't want to do that. And yeah, at your core, you're like, hell yeah, don't compromise. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's one F all of them. But it's like, come on, guy. Like, we could get this passed if we got enough, if we could all come together.
And that'd be a starting point.
If you said, this is the best we can do, okay. Yeah. 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 And like, yeah, we would love to. And so, I don't know. So that's where I say, well, like, I'm just a member of the U.S. Cattlemen's, and that's where.
What was their stance on the bill?
Oh, they are the biggest driving force behind it. Yeah, like they are yeah, it's no surprise that I really want that bill passed, and then I also like that they are the ones pushing it the hardest. They're probably the one group that is keeping it alive.
Yeah. So how are they size-wise comparable to the NCBA?
A fraction of the size.
Yeah.
And that's where I think we can make a difference right here at Talk Dirt to Me is there's so many people out there that are they just pay those dues to NCBA every year and really aren't paying any attention.
Yeah.
Like pay attention and don't do it because I said it, but really look into it and decide for yourself, whoa, wait a second. Because I was a member of the NCBA until just, maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
Well, I think whenever the first time me and you went through the beef producer class, I'm pretty sure you automatically enroll.
Well, you automatically pretty much join the Tennessee Cattlemen's Association.
That's right, yeah.
They pretty much make it to where by the time you pay for your BQA, you can just join the TCA, which all these damn acronyms, which for the Beef Quality Assurance, BQA, because of the Tennessee Cattlemen's Association's affiliation with the NCBA.
You're supporting it.
Because for a while I was like, I still was a member of our state group, which I've since, told them to go kick rocks because they wouldn't support like this bill. You get like an invoice in the mail from the NCBA. It makes it look like you already owe them money, but really it's them saying, "Hey, please join our group."
Yeah.
But they send it to you in like an invoice form. It looks like you
so
already
you're like,
owe.
"Oh man, I gotta pay my dues."
This. And I was a member for forever. Yeah, you get the cool beef magazine every month, and the stickers and all to put on your truck. Hell yeah, man, this is awesome.
Yeah.
And then if you really start paying attention, you open your eyes, you're like, whoa, this group, they're the wolf in sheep's clothing. They're pissing down our backs and telling us it's raining.
Yeah.
And so, do your homework out there, make your voice heard, call them, when you decide not to renew, send them an email, just let them
know why.
Know why. Right. And if enough people will do that, because they're still, unfortunately, the biggest group.
So you need to do that, and you need to join the U.S. Cattlemen's, it sounds like.
Yeah, if I was saying, I think the U.S. Cattlemen's most closely represents the full, needs of independent cattle producers. And RCAF does as well. Sometimes they just frustrate you because you're like, come on, guys, like help us out. Like
bend a little bit here,
if you could help us out here, that we might have been able to push this thing across the finish line.
Yeah.
And And every now and then RCAF gets some stuff done. They're, like I say, I guess as their name would imply, the Action Legal Fund. So they bring up a lot of lawsuits and stuff, and they win some stuff that you're like, okay, that's a good deal for them. They're really big in pushing the country of origin labeling, that mandatory country of origin labeling, I should say, and trying to get that back. And hey, I would love for it. I don't know that there'll ever be the support there. Yeah. Certainly not from the NCBA. They're because again, that's really bad for the meat packer.
Well, we need to, dude. I'm telling you, man. I'm gonna message. I'm gonna message the guy that I've got in contact and ask him about this.
I'll talk to some of the people I know that, and they're probably gonna say the same thing as me. Is like they don't feel like their skill set is.
Well, it ain't got to be
for writing the art, but there's somebody out there.
They got some editors that clean it up pretty good.
But there's so much good information out there that I know of, and I'm just not. I'd be afraid that I wouldn't do it justice.
Yeah.
And I guess I shouldn't. Quit
being
a pussy.
Yeah. Quit being a bitch.
Yeah. And just do it.
Y'all message DM Bobby Lee and tell him to quit being a pussy.
Yeah. If you're a writer and you understand all this, hey, maybe, it'd be awesome to shed some light on.
I'm telling you, I think that might be something they would publish. I mean, they're not in bed with the NCBA, and I mean it's an ag thing. The only thing that they're going to have to weigh it is it's got to be done in a way that somebody that's not in the cattle realm could read it and be like, damn, that's pretty wild. It's got to be entertaining for someone to read that's not a cattleman.
Because of their audience.
Yeah, but they have already told me that they would like to publish some ag stuff.
I can reach out to some people that got maybe more contacts than me that would say, who out there it just needs the platform that like can put all this together and would, that'd be awesome.
And because I mean, like I say, that's kind of like when you said earlier. I mean, that's part of the thing with this show. You know, that's one of your axes to grind. I mean, you know, just like mine, I feel like I'm trying to like, you know, rally the small farmers up because, you know, I just recently had a guy message me on Facebook and he was like, man, he was like, how did you get land? He's like, I've been farming. He's like, I cannot find any land. And he said, all the guys he said, everybody that gets land is working about 5,000 or 6,000 acres. He said, they just keep getting more and more land. And I'm like, welcome to the struggle, my friend. Like and I said, and the thing I've said before, what is the most frustrating of all is those guys, this is what I told him, those guys that are gobbling the land are the same ones that are like, we have got to get more young people in ag, you know, like they're saying.
At the Farm Bureau meeting.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're like, man, damn, none of these young people want to farm. They don't want to do this shit. And it's like, oh, yeah, well, you just rented up. One guy was trying, you just rented 100 acres he was trying to get. So, like I said, I just had a guy message me about it on Facebook. So, that is the cool thing with this show. Like, I mean, it is growing very well. But that's why we do ask you guys to share it. Because the more exposure we get with the show, I mean, in turn, people will start hearing us. I mean, I have no doubt that there's already some people that have probably heard us, like that are in some of those chains. And, you know, so we want to grow the exposure because both of us are kind of, I guess we're the one, like some of the things that we talk about, other farmers won't say. You know, like not many, I mean, you got some cattlemen that are probably like, man, they're screwing us on the NCBA kind of thing. They're in bed with the Packers, but they just don't have a platform to do so. And I mean, that's kind of like on the row crop side, there's guys that are like young guys or small guys that are like, man, these damn big guys are gobbling at everything up. And a lot of people won't say nothing because they're scared to rock the boat. I don't give a shit. So like, that's kind of the point of the show. So try to share it, help us out a little bit there.
Well, and within the beef industry, so like specifically with that Cattle Price Discovery and Transparency Act, there were, and again, I get a lot of this information from other people I listen to. There were some big cattle feeders that were really wanted to strongly support it, but were afraid to because of retaliation from the meat packers.
Yeah.
Because that's their customer. You know, they're the ones buying all their cattle.
Yeah.
And they would reach out to people that have bigger platforms than me that I listen to and say, hey man, we appreciate what you're saying. Like we'd love to.
Wish we could do. Yeah.
I really, we're 100% behind you. I just can't come out publicly. And they've even said that like some of those guys would like make a post on Facebook or whatever. And then when they get contacted, like, hey, if you want to keep selling cattle, doing business with us, you need to take that down.
Yeah.
Like, damn.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like some mobster crap going on a little bit.
That's like I say, it's ridiculous that you see those ads in some of those magazines and you're like, it doesn't make sense at first. And you're like, wait a second, this makes perfect sense. I see exactly what they're doing now.
They ought to be putting them in like, you know, I mean, they ought to be running them on TV, like on, you know, hell, a football game.
Yeah. Like you used to like, that was a commercial that you would see like during Monday Night Football. Or,
yeah.
They ought to be running those, I don't know what magazines, and I mean, maybe,
you know, like Outdoor Life or something, or Victoria's Secret.
Southern Living. Yeah. That's one of my favorite magazines. Yeah. I love the articles.
Yeah. Very good articles.
They have articles in Victoria's Secret, right?
I'm sure they do.
Hell no, Victoria's, apparently now, like, they have, like, they're all into, you got to have the transgender models.
Oh, yeah.
My wife does not even get a Victoria's Secret magazine, apparently.
I don't think Marcy does either.
Either that or she gets to the mailbox before me on those
Hides
days.
that one.
But,
well,
I just saw a meme or something the other day. It's like the way it used to be. It was like in the 90s or whatever. And of course, it was, you know.
Some bombshell chick.
I can't even remember what their names
like Cindy
were.
Crawford or something.
Yeah, and then now it's like they got to have the extra plus size model, and then you know you're not sure if some of them
are actually a woman or not.
Not what their plumbing actually have.
Yeah, it's an interesting time we live in.
It is. So that one again, we're always good to go off the rails at least one good time. So.
Exactly. Well, guys, that's what we want. We need you to help us grow that. And here's what Bobby Lee and I are gonna do. One thing we're gonna do before I'm putting the pressure on us before next episode, we are gonna have some apparel lined out.
Okay.
Like that is something I'm telling you guys right now. You can send us death threats if we don't have them up by next Thursday or whatever. We have to have at least one shirt and one hat.
At least an idea.
Yeah, I mean,
we know good and well it's going to take months to get it.
Well,
right.
I don't know, because now I just learned of one company that actually they handle the shipping and the printing and everything. You send them the design, what you want, and they'll put it out there. And when people order it, they come straight from them. We don't even have to handle it.
Okay.
And it's pretty good quality. I mean, it's good quality. Like I've actually got a shirt. My buddy Ross does that.
But like if today we said, all right, here's the exact design we want.
I think it's pretty dang quick turnaround.
Because the last hats I had made,
they take a while.
It's about 2 months. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm thinking they might do hats, but I know they do shirts. But I'm telling you guys right now, we'll have some, and we'll get some stickers. Sticker Mule, they got them right here. They're pretty dang quick turnaround. So we're going to have some stickers and some hats and shirts for next episode. I don't want to say Thursday because hell, it might be Friday. You never know. But by next episode, we're going to have some apparel so y'all can wear the stuff and help spread the word, because that's advertising, man, for the company, the brand.
That's right.
So there you go. That's our guarantee. Now, do you have the company or do I can't remember.
I have a few that I have used here lately, but obviously we can't go into that discussion yet.
Yep.
Until
Start off with 2 words. Made in America.
Until our fearless leader announces our
2 words.
Our intro.
Made in America.
Oh yes, and now I need my company.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Trying to remember which ones I have spoken about, which ones I haven't.
I might have done Palmetto State last week.
I believe you did. Yes. Okay, so I'll do one. This is another one that I got to use on my recent hunting trip. But hunting apparel company Forloh. Forloh.
I feel like I've heard of that.
Which I don't know where that name comes from. What because that is obviously an odd name. But yeah, make hunting apparel, all made in the USA. Pants, shirts, jackets. I mean, you name it.
Nice.
I don't know. I don't think they do footwear, but all made in the USA. I bought a pullover of theirs, like a heavyweight pullover, and then like a lighter weight, like long sleeve hooded T-shirt.
Is it all camo, or do they have like the Donnie Vincent style?
I'm not familiar with Donnie Vincent.
Oh man, you need to open your eyes in the hunting world, man. Donnie is he's like the Mac Daddy in the hunting world. Like he wears no camo and he goes and kills like the most extravagantly awesome animals.
He doesn't do. Does he do like the plaid, like
kind of like Fred Bear? Like he maybe, but he wears. It'll be like a fleece sweater, and he'll have like some khaki hiking pants. Like it's durable stuff.
They have like the solids.
Yeah, he hunts in a tuxedo.
Okay, well, classy. It's the most interesting man in the world.
That's right.
Kind of thing. No, they have like solid, just like olive drab and gray, as well. But and then they have their own camo patterns, like it's their whatever camo. But yeah, good stuff. Like just about anything made in the USA, very, very well made. I haven't had any. I bought all my stuff a couple of months ago and I've used it just a few times. So
yeah.
I can't say that it'll last you years and years, but certainly that is my expectation. But yeah, good quality stuff. Just like everything made in the USA, you pay a little more for it, but
get what you pay for.
You get that made in the USA pride and quality. So yeah, Forloh, Forloh. Yeah, you put them in your search engine, they're going to pop right up. But good stuff.
I just ordered me a bino harness from T&K.
T&K?
Yeah.
I actually, just before I came over here, I finally went on their website and gave a review of it. Because I was like,
Got to leave a review.
Well, we talked about that. They email you like 3 days after you get it, like, please review our product.
Before you get it, please let us know what you think.
So, but I waited until I'd actually put it through a field test, and like I told them, it's high quality stuff.
And I feel like it's kind of funny now after having some shows where reviews actually benefit. I understand now. Like I make an effort to leave reviews now because it is so important. Like I know people get frustrated probably with me telling them to leave a rating and review. I do that because we get way more downloads than we have reviews. Like we have like almost 40 reviews. Yes. I'm very happy.
Some of you lazy assholes.
Yeah, go leave a damn review.
It's the same way. It's so annoying on YouTube. Please like and subscribe. Please like leave us a comment. Like it's because that all helps drive traffic. And, it takes a split second to hit that thumbs up. Which, by the way, this will be on YouTube, so give it a thumbs up.
That's right.
Leave a comment.
We're the like, what do they call it? We're the driving spear for you guys. It's kind of our plan with Talk Dirt to Me. Like we're going head first in to try to take down these sons of bitches that are holding us back. And so we need that exposure. And that's the way Donnie dresses. See, he's got like a sweater kind of thing. It's kind of like, he's got like a cool swagger about him.
Well, half the time I hunt, like I rarely wear camo pants anymore.
Does have the plaid.
I wear just like dark brown pants, and I've got some camo pants, and
I'm a Cryptech billboard now when I go out. Like,
well, I did not hunt this morning. Thanksgiving's like the most.
You got to hunt Thanksgiving morning.
Right, but I had a late night. It was why we didn't get in record last night. We won't go into that story.
He was out doing toot all night and couldn't get in time.
Right, so I always say, no matter what I'm doing this time of year, I'm doing it / deer hunting.
Yeah.
So when I was checking cows this morning, but I was just out there just in my regular old farm clothes, but it's still kind of earth tone, and if I had seen a deer and had to take off after him, I feel like I would have still been relatively well hidden.
Well, I've hunted a lot in blue jeans.
Like
there was many a time like I'd get off work when I was still a machinist or something like that, and on the way home I would swing into a field and I might have a camo jacket on, but I'd be in blue jeans.
Well,
but
depends on what you're like. If you're bow hunting or like say you're turkey hunting. Yeah, camo's a little because you're getting close.
Yeah.
And when you're rifle hunting for deer, and especially if you're hunting out of a box stand, heck, you don't need camo at all.
I go naked a lot of times.
Yeah. Well, I get in my stand and then strip down naked.
I get naked before I get in there. But the first Navy
makes you feel like
you're part of it. Yeah, you're one with nature. I usually waller in the dirt and stuff. That's
the original Scent-A-Way.
That's true. That is very true. The first SEALs wore blue jeans.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm like, man, come on. Our original military operators wore blue jeans. If they're good enough for them, they're good enough for me. Yeah. I mean, blue jeans. So, all right, guys. Hope y'all have a happy Thanksgiving. Appreciate you for tuning in. We really do mean it. If you can leave us a rating and a review, we really do appreciate that because we honestly do want to try to drive some change. Not Obama-type change, some actual good change.
No hope here, just change.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
I hope there's some hope.
Leave us a rating and review.
And the comments either on the YouTube videos or send us a message, topics you want to hear about. We're always open to, hey, we're going to sit here for an hour every week. We have to come up with things to talk about, and it helps. Yeah, if y'all got something you're really interested in or really want to shed some light on, just let us know.
Thank you, guys. Y'all have a good... talkdirtpodcast.com. That's the website. It'd be in the description.
Yeah. Happy Thanksgiving.
Take care.